This is Into the Fire.
What a pleasure it is to welcome to Into the Fire the highly touted, incredibly talented, versatile young 200cm Victorian, Nik Cox. Nice to meet you, Nik.
Thanks, LJ. It's nice to meet you too. It's a lovely pump up you've given me there. Thank you. It's very nice.
No worries. Okay, so first things first, Nik. Were you always so tall? And did you ever think of maybe playing basketball?
I've always been sort of a little bit taller than everyone, but I had a really big growth rate. I grew about 12 centimeters in 10 months, which definitely helps. But no, I was never really a basketballer. I love basketball, but I was always a more sort of cricketer. It was always cricket and footy that I put together. So maybe it might have been a good pathway basketball, but footy's doing pretty well for me, so I'll stick with that.
Yeah, it has. Now, you're such an athletic. You're 200 centimeters and play a wide range of positions. Do you think that's fair, mate? I mean, how are us little blokes supposed to compete when you can do it all? Have you always been to athletics?
Yeah, well, that's my strength is my running and my athleticism. I still got to put on some kilos. I'm a bit skinny still, so maybe that's the advantage for you younger fellas. You got the size on me, but yeah, it's definitely a big part of sort of my game is being able to play sort of anywhere on the ground. I think that can be pretty damaging. As a tall player, being able to sort of run around with smaller players can be a real weapon. So, yeah, definitely a plus side to my game.
Yeah, it's a good attribute. Now, you love playing forward and flying for marks, but you also run like a track and field runner on the wing, and you're amazing at patrolling the back line. What is your favourite position?
It's a tough one. I mean, there's nothing better than kicking goals. That's what I love about being down forward. But I think it's even more rewarding when you're stopping them down back. So I think my favourite position would be half-back flank or centre half-back for sure. You can really sort of control the game as a leader. You can really dictate the tempo of everything. So, yeah, I think I have, I guess, the most knowledge in terms of the craft of a backman on my side compared to playing down forward. I don't mind being able to go onto the ball in the ruck or play on the wing as well. So it's good to have that versatility, but definitely down back is my favourite position.
Yeah, interesting. Now, to make it even more amazing is the fact that you can kick both feet. Is it true you're as good on your left as your right?
Yeah, that's Dad's work. Since I was literally picked up a footy and started kicking on my right foot, he made me kick on the left at the exact same time. So they've developed at the same rate. So I've never really had a ultimate dominant foot, which is definitely really handy and something I've got to thank Dad for because it really does help you in a game. Don't have to go back onto your right foot. You're not as predictable. So it's, yeah, very good attribute to have.
Yeah, it can be really damaging. Now, you were made the co-captain of the Knights this year before COVID hit. That must have been a great honour. I bet you were looking forward to demonstrating your wonderful leadership skills.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a massive honour, especially to be put with Ewan McPherson, who's such a good leader as well, and someone that I really do respect quite a lot. But yeah, it's obviously sad that I didn't get to sort of run out in the field and lead the boys. But you know, that's being a leader. You got to check up on everyone, especially during this whole period. We've done that, and would have loved to have lead out everyone, set an example, and would have loved to raise that NAB League Cup. I reckon we could have done it as well for Niners. We were looking pretty red hot at the start of the season, but that's the way things go. And unfortunately, it didn't get to happen, but still, that's honour.
You have a massive ceiling. Changing a light bulb would have been hard if you weren't 200 centimetres.
Yeah, I know. It definitely helps having a bit of height on your side, but at the same time, you tend to hit your head on everything, walking through doorways, which doesn't help. The dad's shown me many times he's hit his head, but yeah, it's good to have some height. Hopefully, I keep growing a bit more too.
Yeah, sometimes being small can be handy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, for most, COVID was a disaster, but for a man with such professionalism and huge training standards, it was good for you. How did you go through lockdown, and what did you improve?
Yeah, from the moment we got told that the NAB League was going to postpone, Dad and I had a good chat for a good while, and we spoke about what an opportunity I sort of have now to really work on myself. I've never had a long sustained period to really work on my body individually. It's always been sort of at times where I've had to go to footy training, etc. So missed out on that sort of critical time. I've never really done, I guess, a a long gym program either. So it was good to be able to go into the gym and put on some kilos. So I've literally just been running and doing gym. So lucky enough, I've put on about 8 kilos over this year, and to go with that, I've been able to keep up my running and also improve my running. So I've just been focusing on the combine and trying to get a good sort of score in the combine, break that 3-second mark, and we tried to break the 6-minute mark, but couldn't quite get there, but still pretty happy with how I went. So I'm pretty happy with how I went this year, and lucky I had such a good support system around me to keep me motivated.
Yeah, you should be happy because you did well. Now
Thank
you
you.
got to play in the now you got to play in the under-17s future game. What a great opportunity! What did you get out of that experience? And how was it mixing in with the best young talent in Australia?
Yeah, obviously incredible. It's every young boy's dream. You want to play on the home of footy, the MCG. So it was pretty surreal walking out. I didn't have one of my better games, but I learned a lot from the game. I mean, it's sort of a good experience when you play against sort of the best players in your age group and in your position as well. Especially, I think it sort of helped that I didn't have a great game either. It allowed me to sort of learn a few things. It sort of taught me that I really had a lot to work on, and that I was so far from being at the mark where I want to be. So it was, yeah, incredible experience, and there's some talented footballers around Australia. It's going to be hard to match up against all those players, and yeah, such a cool experience.
Yeah, sounds like a good experience. Now, your dad Daryl played 30 games of VFL and AFL. Does he tell you all about it? Maybe he showed you his highlights on his old VHS recorder?
Yeah, he likes to talk himself up. I've actually seen him play some games, and to his credit, he was actually pretty good. He was just sort of stuck with injuries, unfortunately. But yeah, he's done so much for my footy so far, and yeah, you definitely have to go back in time to watch those videos. They're all in black and white.
Yeah. Now, I went on his Wikipedia and it says he only has a daughter. That's harsh. It doesn't even say you. So I thought I would look her up, and now I know why. Montana won Australia's Next Top Model. That's the best thing ever. Bet you went to all her stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. It's still pretty hard to comprehend. I was only about 11 at the time, and yeah, flew over to Sydney for the finale and watched her win. And yeah, she was only 17 when she won it, and she went straight over to New York, and she's been on the run since, just flying in between countries. And yeah, she's done an incredible job, sort of setting herself up for her future. She's extremely dedicated. Yeah, I can't say much more. She's done very well.
Yeah, she definitely has. I bet when she had parties at home, little bro hung around. By the way, you aren't on her wiki either. Don't let them on yours, mate, in a couple years' time.
Yeah, no. She spends a lot of time in Sydney actually. So when she comes home, it's sort of pretty special, which is good. So she hasn't had too many parties. Thank God. I feel like they'd keep me up too late. Got to have a good night's sleep for footy, hey.
Yeah, you aren't on her wiki either. Don't let them on yours, mate, in a couple years' time.
Yeah, look, if I'm on Wikipedia, I'll be very happy. It'd be pretty cool to be able to see yourself online. That'd be pretty special. So, mate, the more people, the merrier on that.
I'm pretty sure you will. Okay, some lighter questions. If a cameraman walked into your bedroom right now, how would they find it?
Pretty good at the moment. Made my bed, everything, which is good. You've caught me on a good day. They wouldn't find a lot. They'd find a PlayStation with a monitor, a vinyl collection with some speakers, and a bed. That's about all that's in my room.
Pretty cool. Now, you have to cook for a first date. What's your go-to?
There's plenty of options. My mum's a pretty special cook, so I've learnt quite a bit off her. You got to cook something nice, something that's sort of you don't want to go something cheap. You want to put some effort in. Look, it's a hard one. There's so many dishes. I reckon if you make a really nice pasta from scratch, for me, any pasta, I reckon all pasta's pretty good. I think that's a pretty nice meal to have on it. So I reckon I'd go with a pasta, homemade.
Yeah, homemade pasta is the best.
Absolutely. It's unreal.
If you had to either sing or dance in front of a crowd, what would you choose?
Ooh, if my voice was better, I'd definitely sing. But I feel like I'd embarrass myself because my voice isn't too good. So if there's good music playing, I'd pick dance.
Okay. You get to invite one person over for drinks. Who do you invite?
I reckon I'd go with LeBron James.
That's a common one.
Obviously, he's aside from the fact that what he's done just sort of on the basketball court, what he's done outside and how much of a leader he is, he's pretty inspirational. I think picking his brain, not just from a basketball point of view, but from a business and sort of social aspect, he's pretty incredible. So if I could sit down for even just an hour with him, that'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. If your mum said you were bad at something, what would you choose?
Ooh, I reckon she'd highlight a lot of things. She's a hairdresser, and I actually cut my own hair, even though she wants to. So I reckon she'd say I'm pretty bad at cutting hair, because she doesn't like what I produce. I haven't got a great haircut at the moment, and she'll let me know that.
It's not too bad.
So I'm gonna go with that. Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I've been instructed to ask you how you got the nickname Pencil.
Where have you pulled that one from?
Can't reveal my sources.
Yeah, no, good on you. I like that. Well, basically, I was on a school footy trip in year 11, and obviously I'm a pretty skinny type, and one kid was like, "Oh, you look a lot like a pencil," in front of everyone. And from that moment, it stuck, and everyone started calling me Pencil on that trip. And then the whole school year, I got called Pencil, not just in footy, but everyone at the school. And then somehow my talent manager at the Knights caught wind of it, and then it sort of spread into the Knights, and it's just kept going from there. Unfortunately, it's not the best nickname, but to have a nickname, I guess it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not. And it's not a bad one either. Well, Nick, you're an incredibly talented footballer. And no wonder you spoke about in such a glowing way. But what I'm excited about is your ability to get up and take a strong mark. Not because of the mark, but because you'll kick goals. You see, Nick, goals are the money. And you have money written all over you. Look, though, the goals are great. But unless they come with a memorable celebration, they won't mean much. Don't panic. I have your back. The Inter's flag.
That's a pretty good one. I'll have to start doing that. I haven't kicked a goal for a while. I wouldn't know how to celebrate anymore. So, lucky you've given me that one. I'll be able to use that. But yeah, I agree. Goal and money's that, and it's as I said before, it's a pretty good feeling when you kick a goal. So if I can turn into a forward, I'll definitely take that opportunity.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling to kick. Well, Nik Cox, you're a super guy and ridiculously talented. I can't wait to see which lucky club calls your name. Good luck in the draft, mate.
Thanks, LJ. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me too. It's been awesome.
My pleasure. My pleasure.